This bill probably needs little explanation, and that's because I think we all have heard from our constituents and we've all seen the TV reports about street takeovers that are occurring not just here in Connecticut, but frankly throughout the nation.
When I was first elected to serve in the House of Representatives, one of my best friends, who is also a mentor of mine, told me if you stick to your word and negotiate honestly, you can get things done. This bill, which would expand paid sick days in our state, is proof to me that he was right.
I can't help but think that our families can be stronger when we care for one another.
We're talking 5 paid days out of 365 days in a year. My God, doesn't every hardworking person in this state deserve to have that paid time off?
What kind of state do we want to be for people? What kind of society do we want for workers and families?
Connecticut is the home to over 800,000 people age 60 and older, representing 23% of the state's population, making us number 7 in the country.
I want to acknowledge that there were many sessions and many working groups to finally get this priority bill to a place where we can bring it before the House and enthusiastically support it.
This bill would establish a property tax exemption for veterans. In the state of Connecticut, we have 1,209 veterans who are permanently and totally disabled as a result of their service.
It is a way to honor and support those who have served and sacrificed greatly.
The very least we can do as a thank you is to give them a break so that they can continue to live in our communities with dignity and without the fear that they will have to leave their homes.
This bill seeks to leverage already existing federal funds for programs that are federally available to ensure the best health and well-being of the children of our state.
More than 380,000 Connecticut families suffer from food insecurity. Proper nutrition has profound consequences on lifelong health, productivity, and cognitive development.
This week, DEEP released its latest greenhouse gas emissions inventory, showing that not only are we failing to meet our goals, we are actually in 2 key sectors farther behind than we were in 1990. This bill seeks to address that.
We are going to be impacted by climate change in Connecticut, and it will cost us money. We don't have to go it alone. We have federal money for the next 8 years to help make these changes. And if we let that money go to other states, we are fools.
It has a direct effect on those members in my district. With our 2 federally recognized tribes, this expansion of the program would allow for up to 10,000 employees of our 2 federally recognized tribes to access a vital game-changing program.
This was a bill that we have now heard twice in the Planning and Development Committee, and we certainly hope to get it passed this year. So it is a friendly amendment, and I urge my members to vote for it.
It is something that we have talked about a lot in our town, and it is something that we have worked for.
We spent a lot of time this year in housing, working on a lot of these bills. I want to thank my members. I want to thank the members of leadership who put their 2 cents in.
We have worked on this bill tirelessly for months now because we do know that too many of our families and businesses in this state are truly struggling to find affordable and accessible childcare.
And we know that early care is the absolute cornerstone of Connecticut's infrastructure. It supports our economy and it supports our workforce and it allows our families to thrive.
And with the industry that is formulating the educational brains and foundation for our youngest residents in the state of Connecticut, they deserve so much more.
Is it a serious issue in terms of the safety and health of our home care workers? And many who are affected by the death of Joyce Grayson know how important this work and this conversation is.
Providers deserve to be protected.
We also remember that we are charged with taking care of the residents of our state.
There are certainly many sections of this bill that are doing great work, and I want to commend the chairwoman and the vice chair and everyone on the Public Health Committee for the great work that they did here.
And so I strongly support this legislation, and I hope that you will do as well.
I voice my strong support of the entire bill.
I think of this chamber as a culture because the time we spend together, lots of hours, lots of holidays missed. Cultures bond together by creating holidays and traditions. And as I'm sure everyone in this chamber is aware, that tomorrow is an important legislative holiday, which is Sine Die. It's exciting for many of us. We get to go home to our families. I've been here all week.
I am not coming out with a budget, but I'm coming out with the stabilization bill to help
address what we passed with our colleagues on the other side of the aisle that we feel was a balanced and appropriate budget.
I do first want to thank the members of the Education Committee and Appropriations and everybody in the chamber who has supported this over the last couple of years as we've moved forward.
I find cooperation is better than confrontation. You can get more flies with honey.
Connecticut is on solid footing. Our communities are on solid footing. And what this bill is going to do is continue that progress that we're making every day to make Connecticut the best state in the country.
I'm going to turn to the Majority Leader of the Connecticut House of Representatives as we approach midnight here on Wednesday, May 8th. Mr. Majority Leader, the floor is yours.
I move we adjourn sine die.
So ordered. Sine die.